Did you know he was coming before?
I didn't know. I saw him in the crowd, and I was excited to see him. Obviously, he had a great summer and plays for the team in my hometown, so in the bigger town. So, but no, it's great player. Great to see him. They love basketball, so great to have him.
And you got a chance to get the win in front of them for your team. Take me through this game and just kind of what ignited for your group, especially there in the fourth quarter, that allowed you guys to get over that hump and get it together.
Yeah, I think we struggled in that second with our defense, but if you look at first, third, and fourth, our effort and defense was consistent. As we know, they're a good three-point shooting team, and we got hurt at times, and they still made 15 of them, almost 40%. So, as I said, a team that likes to shoot the three, we needed to rebound. A lot of them were second-chance points that we didn't finish possessions. But then we cleaned it up. I think we came together. We had good energy. We were not disappointed. A lot of times, a lot of our guys just get down on themselves, and we have to find the way to support each other and keep fighting, and I think the group did it, and they did a great job.
When it comes to finding ways, so many guys had a spot in this, but when you look at fourth quarter performances by Noah, Shake, what impressed you about how they kind of helped lead that charge?
Yeah, it's very selfless. I mean, obviously they scored, but like they were ready to shoot. Like Shake, obviously, his package is more off the dribble, but he was ready to shoot. Same as Noah, he had some mistakes, but then the ball was going in. So, you mix in a positive and a negative, and that's completely okay. You just gotta keep playing and fight through it. Like you said, everybody, CJ, I think he, kept us right there. He's our movement guy. He creates a lot of attention, and, he's running miles and miles and miles, and a lot of times he's not the one taking the shot, but he definitely, brought that composure to the group and helped us in big-time moments that we were able to take the lead and then close the game.
There have been times when you guys have struggled offensively, both getting used to, a different point guard and also not having Cam. And for 3 quarters, I think you guys are shooting about 44%. Was there anything specific that you saw that allowed you guys to, I think, be 7 of 11 from deep in the fourth, 56% in the fourth? Was there anything that changed either schematically with you guys or maybe on their end?
No, I think it's easier to get out and run when you get stops. It's different pace to the game, right? The shots are, it's different when this defense is set all the time. So I think our defense allowed us to, get better movement and better shots. The other thing is just keep believing that the good shots are the best way to go. And then if we're in the crash zone, we have to go and crash the glass. And I think our guys, we lost right there the battle, but 13 second chance points, 6 for 10 is pretty good. Jay Will had a big one late in the fourth. And those extra points, extra possessions are huge. So, I think that the defense helped our offense, and that's how it usually is in the NBA.
You mentioned before about the guys using their voice and being that vocal leader. There was times where without Dorian, but he was like in the huddle coaching the guys along, and then you saw a lot of times when Nick was kind of also that vocal guy. And what did you see from everyone and just like how they're able to use their voice and kind of help rally them, even when guys not playing?
Yeah, I think that it's all that turns into positive energy, and it was Doe, it was Ben, it was Nick, and it was CJ. Especially they are the grown-ups on the team. And we need them to keep doing that because, that positive energy helps making a run. And the NBA basketball is a game of runs. And those guys help us as coaches because their voice means a lot to the group. It's different if coaches we keep saying over and over. But, I felt like a great support. And those guys, they did it on their own. So proud of them.
Speaking of Dorian, I know you mentioned before that you were going to wait and see kind of like how his on-court workouts went, and maybe he got a little too excited this morning at shoot-around about saying he was going to be able to play. Just did something happen, or kind of like what changed from Dorian thinking that or saying that he was going to play to being out?
Yeah, nothing happened. It was like discomfort, and obviously we're not going to force it. We want him to be 200%, and he was disappointed because he was so excited to play, and he really wants to help the guys, and he still does it, like you said, with his voice. I'm pretty sure he'll do his best, but again, we'll assess tomorrow and we'll see where he's at.
With Noah, I mean, you talked about development. I'm curious with Noah, what you've seen from his development over the last, since the Cleveland game, really, that's allowed him to be as consistently effective as he's been.
Noah Clowney?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, trying to do the right things. He's playing the perimeter spot 1 through 4. He's playing the 5. He's letting it fly. Also defensively, he's finding the way to be physical without fouling. There's things that he can clean up, but this is it's a process and you have to go through it. I just want him that mentally, to control the ups and downs. And, we believe in him and we believe in all these guys that if they put their work in and they try to do the right things, for the most part, it will always work out. And he's an example. He's been amazing. The whole summer right now, it's paying off because he had an amazing summer. And that's the culture that we want to establish. Work, get 1% better, care about your teammates, connect with them, do what's best for the team, and we'll be in a good place.
You guys have to play tomorrow now back at Barclays for Ben. Has anything changed when it comes to his recovery process of playing in back-to-backs?
So he's done a great job. As you guys know, his minutes have increased. And then I'm going to keep that, that to myself right now, see how he feels, and then he may or may not play tomorrow based on, what the norm has been with his back-to-backs. He's done a great job. We need his space, we need his defense, we need his rebounding, and we'll assess for sure and let you guys know tomorrow. Thank you.
Congrats in that fourth.
Thank you, first of all, and secondly, I think it was just continuing to play how we wanted to play, push the pace. You had big contributions from Keon in the second half, big contributions from Shake in the second half, and it kind of filtered over into the defensive end. So on one hand, we can't let, maybe missing shots or offense not going great affect how we play on the defensive end. But, we started to put it together a little bit and get stops and get easier looks on our end.
What was it like to see those guys go off with Shake, 14 in the fourth, and then Noah just consistently getting to his spots and knocking down threes?
It was great to see, man. Noah can shoot the ball. Did a heck of a job today, and he did a good job defensively. And Shake is what he does. He's a microwave scorer. He come in, he can shoot, he get to the basket. So it was great to see, man. I'm proud of those guys, proud of everyone on the roster for just kind of coming together and getting the dub today.
When you're laying on your back, you're kind of splayed on the ground after the three. What's going through your head?
Just take a little second, take a little break. I probably do that pose kind of often when I'm on the ground for, for whatever reason. I kind of have a little, it's been a couple of times I've done that. But just take a, just gather my thoughts, lay there for a sec, catch my breath. Yeah.
You had to do it a few times. Mm-hmm. Because you had some big hits.
Yeah. Yeah, a couple of them.
You feeling okay?
I'm all right.
There have been times over the last, couple weeks where the offense has struggled, trying to kind of find its rhythm.
Yeah.
Whether that's loss of CT or adjusting to a new point guard. And for 3 quarters, I think you guys are shooting about 44%. In the fourth quarter, in your mind, did something change schematically, or was that a matter of getting stops and getting more early action and getting more transition and early offense?
Yeah, the latter, more so. But on one hand, there's, like you said, like we're kind of crafting our scheme and getting better at it at times. There's some good possessions we had in the first half, some good possessions we had in the second half, kind of throughout. But we're learning the reads, kind of, and in the way we're playing and setting screens and trying to keep the spacing on the floor intact. We're learning how to do that as a group. So in the second half, it's not even, we just sometimes good energy kind of filters its way into the game and positive results happen. But I think we were the whole time trying to stay committed to the schemes that we wanted to do, and maybe in the second half we executed them a little bit better. And then a lot of that was, scoring off of turnovers and scoring in transition and finding those easier looks.
As the process of that learning goes, and also as one of the vet leaders of this group, just in what ways have you seen the guys rally together and not get down, especially in a game like this when shots weren't falling early, but you were able to kind of still find ways? Just kind of what's been your message as one of the leaders of the group, just to kind of not let that get in your head, but also continue to fight?
They just continue to believe, continue to fight. That's the one thing that can't go. And when we believe we can win the game, which we did the entire game, we give ourselves a chance. So it kind of just starts with that belief, and then play by play, stopping their runs, creating runs of our own. And then that kind of empowers guys to go out there and make plays like Shake did, like Keon did, just big buckets. Noah hitting threes. It's just that belief that we have to have across the roster, and that showed up in the second half for us today.
You mentioned Noah can shoot, and you've known that Noah can shoot. But, have you noticed over the last couple of weeks either more energy from him or more confidence in him, or just how much more comfortable he is? What have you seen from him?
A lot more confidence and starting to understand the game. And then, he played 30 minutes today. He's out there, and he's figuring it out. He's so young. He got time, but we need him to step up now, and that's what he's been doing. He kind of adds a good dimension that he can shoot the ball, space the floor, and defend at the rim and move his feet on the perimeter. So what he's been able to bring to the table has been good for us, and his in-game maturity is coming a long way. And I'm proud of him in that regard, and that he stepped up, and he's willing to take big shots. He was, that shot at the buzzer with the shot clock going down, that was crazy, and that was huge for us. And he deserves those moments, man. He works so hard, keeps his head down and works. Good kid, good teammate. And his future's so bright, he don't even really know it yet, I don't think. But for him to be forced to step up, and in this case, we got Ben and Nick on the floor. He has to guard smaller guys. He has to space the floor. He has to be able to knock down threes, and he did that for us today.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.